Welcome to Techsolutions. If you are watching my video first time, don't forget to subscribe the channel immediately and click the bell icon for more updates and like the video to reach more members. Don't skip the video and watch until end. And give your comments or query or specific suggestions, or if you need any specific topic want to explanation in comment section, and don't forget to the comment on video.
Hello, in this video we are discussing about variable and data types, right? First we can discuss about what is meant by variable. What is meant by variable? Here the variable is nothing but you simply giving the name. It can represent address of a value. That means what are the value we can store, those value address will be represented by the variable. Means we can simply say, means the variable is a name, right? It can be used for to store the value, right? To store the value. That means what are the values you want to store, that value you have to assign to the particular variable. That is called as a variable. Means simply we can say the variable is nothing but the variable is a name. It can be used for to store the some value, right? Then what is meant by variable? Suppose now a is a variable, right? For this variable a, I can assign the some value. How I can assign? By using the assignment operator, I can assign the value from right side into left side. That means suppose if it is a variable is a, now it is the value which we have to assign, and if we have the some address location, suppose for example the address location is 1000. Now here the a is indicating, the a will be indicating the variable name. A is a variable name, right? Now what is the value of a? I have to assign here 5. That is the value. That means value of the particular variable, and it will be represent address of the variable, means where the particular variable will be stored in your computer, right? That is nothing but variable. Means simply the variable is a name. It can be used for to represent the address location of the particular value. What is the value we have to store? This address location is represented by the some naming. What is the name you have to represent the a? Now a is a variable name. This name address will be the 1000. Now what is the value of a? Is a 5. Now name of the variable is the a. That is the meaning of variable. Means by using the variables we have to store some value in your computer. What is the need of particular variable name? To identification of the value with the address location, right? This is the meaning of variable. And how we can, what are the rules for to declaring the variables? What are the rules for to declaring the variables? I will explain only just 2 rules mainly. What are the rules for to declaring the variables? The 2 rules are: first rule. What is the first rule? Means the first letter, what are the variable name we have to declare, the first letter must be the character, or we can using sometimes underscore also. We can using sometimes the underscore also, it will be accept. Means if we can declare in the variable name a, the first letter must be the character. And what is the second one? The second main rule is the keywords. What are the 32 keywords available in the C language? The keywords are not an variable or not an identifier. It's already discussed in the constants. That means C tokens already explained what is meant by identifier, what is the rules for declaring the identifiers, right? Here what is meant by variable also on name, right? The name can be used for to assign the some value. Same with the, these are the 2 main rule whenever you can declaring the variable name. Okay, now what is the first rule? The first rule is the first letter must be a character And the keywords, what are the keywords using? It is a not and the identifier. Suppose we can see what are the example of a valid variable name. What are the valid variable name and what are the invalid variable name? Invalid variable name. Right? Suppose if I can declare int a, it is a valid. Suppose int underscore a, it is a valid. Suppose int a123, it is a valid because the first letter must be character, otherwise underscore is also acceptable. A character followed by the numerical values also it is acceptable. Suppose invalid, suppose int 123, suppose int 1abc. These are all the invalid variable names. These are all the valid variable names. These are all the invalid variable names. This is a simple nothing but variable. What is one by variable? Variable is a name. It can be used for to store the some value. Next, how you have to store the value means if you can declare the any value variable, for that variable if you have to assign the value, how we can assign? By using the assignment operator. Now how it will be stored? The name of the variable, value of the variable and address of the variable. And what are the rules for declaring the variable? Means the first letter must be a character and it accepting the underscore also first letter. And what are the keywords available in the C language? These keywords are not used as a variable name as well as function name also it is not acceptable. Why? Because all the keywords have some specific meaning. All the keywords have some specific meaning, that is called as a reserved words. The keywords are also called as a reserved words. These words are not used as a variable name. Clear? Now I will tell the syntax how we can declare the variable. How we can declare the variable. Right? See. Variable declaration. Variable declaration. First of all, what is meant by variable declaration? We know what is meant by variable. The variable is nothing but a name. That name can be used for to store the some value, right? The variable is the name, right? This variable can be used for to store the some value, right? Now, what is meant by declaration? Here, the declaration is nothing but if the particular variable want to be stored the some value, right? The particular variable want to be stored the some value, you have to assign. We have to assign some memory location. We have to assign the some memory location. How we can assign the memory location means whenever we can declare the variable. Whenever we can declare the variable, that time only the particular variable which you have to declare, for this variable it will be assigned the some memory location, right? That is the need of variable declaration. What is the purpose of variable declaration means we have to provide the some memory space for a particular variable, right? Now what is the syntax for declaration of the variable? What is the syntax for declaration of the variable? The syntax is data type. Data type space we can give the variable name. We can give the variable name. It is the syntax for declaration of the particular variable. What is the purpose of declaration means we have to provide some memory location for the particular variable to storing the value. Suppose for example, what is meant by data type? Suppose I can consider, next topic I will discuss what is meant by data type. Suppose for example, int is a data type, right? Now what is the variable name? Here a is a variable name, right? Now what is the meaning of this statements? Here I can say a is a variable of integer type, right? And it stores integer values only. It stores the integer values only, and it provide some memory space. some memory space. How much space it will be provided means depending on the data type. It provides some memory space. That means, for example, if it is a integer means it will be providing the 2 bytes of space for the particular variable a. That means here we have to name, suppose a is the variable name, it is the memory space provided for the particular variable. Suppose the address location is 1000. That is the meaning of the particular syntax declaration. Are you clear? What is meant by variable declaration means, or what is the purpose of variable declaration means? By using the variable declaration, we have to provide the some memory location for the particular variable. Okay, now how much memory space we have to provide means that is depending on the data type. That is depending on the data type. Depending on the data type, you have to provide in the some memory space. It is the syntax for to declaration of the variable, right? Then how we have to initialize? How we have to initialize? What is meant by initialize? Initialize is nothing but we have to assign. We have to assign some value. We have to assign the some value to the particular variable. That is called as a variable initialization. Variable initialization. Variable initialization is nothing but we can assign the some value to the particular variable. What is the syntax? Data type space variable name. Then how we can assign? By using the assignment operator. By using the assignment operator. And what is the value we want to assign? That is the semicolon. Suppose for example, same here, right? Int, suppose the a equal to 10. What is the meaning? Now here I can declare the variable a. For that variable a, I have to assign the value. What is the value I have to assign? 5. That is the value of a is a 10, right? Now it is a variable name. What is the variable name is a? What is the value of the particular variable? 10. What is the address of the particular variable? Means what are the variables we have to declare for that variable? There is some address location. What is the address location? 1000. In this 1000 location, what is the value? 10. How we can access either 10 or 1000 means by using the variable name. It is the syntax for to initialization of the particular variable. Are you clear? Once again I will repeat shortly. Variable is nothing but a name. It can be used for to store the some value, right? How we can store the value? Whenever we can providing the memory location. Whenever we can providing the memory location, then only we can store the value. For that purpose, first I have to declare the variable. What is meant by declaration means we can provide the memory location for the particular variable. After that, I have to assign the some value to the particular variable. Here we have to assign the value either static or at runtime or dynamically. We have to assign the value to the particular variable. Right? This is about variable. Next, we will discuss about data type. Right? Here, what is the purpose of variable means to store the value. Okay. Next, what is meant by data type? What is meant by data type? See, you can say simply the data type is nothing but a data type is nothing but a data type is nothing but one thing. What type of value? What type of value we can store and how much memory space it required. How much memory space it required is represented by the data type. Means, are you clear? What is meant by data type means the data type can represent, right? The data type can represent what type of value we can store in your computer. Suppose if we can store the particular type of value, how much memory space it will be required to store the particular value is nothing but data type. Are you clear? The data type is nothing but the what type of value we can store and how much of space it will be required is called as a data type. right? Now, what are the different types of data types we have? Right, are you clear? Suppose for example in previous I told I can declare the variable int a. What is the meaning? Here I can declare the variable, right? What is the purpose of declaration? To provide the memory space. To provide the memory space. How much space I have to provide it to the particular variable means, if it is a variable means I have provided the 2 bytes of space. That is the space is 2 bytes. And what is the type of value I can store? I can store the only integer values. I can store the integer values. That means here the a is a variable. A is a variable. This variable can store integer value, and it required 2 bytes of space, or 16 bits of space are required for the integer variable, right? That is represented by the data type. Clear? Next I will discuss what are the different types of data types. Right? Now we can see what are the different types of data types. Here mainly the data types are 3 types. The data types are mainly 3 types. Right? What are the three different types of data types means? The first one is primary data type. Primary data type. And second one, user defined data type. And the third one is derived data type. Derived data type means we know what is meant by data type. The data type can represent what type of value we can store and how much space it will be required. That is represented by the data type. Here the data types are 3 types. One is the primary data type, user defined data type, and derived data types. Now what is meant by primary data types means, the primary data types are integer, character, float, and double. These are all the primary data types. And what are the user defined data types? The user defined data types are enumerated data type, that means enum, and type definition, that is the type def. These are two are the user defined data types. Now what are the derived data types are? One is pointers, structures, arrays, and union. These are all the derived data types, means it is already have a separate derived data types, and these two are the user defined data types, and these 4 are the primary data types. Right? Now what is the need of these data types? These data types can be used for to declaring the variable. These data types can be used for to declare the variables. How we can declare the variable? Suppose if I want to declare the variable int a, means now a is the variable, it will be stored the integer value. Suppose float b. Now b is a type of floating point value, and it will be store the floating point values. Suppose one more type, character. Suppose c. Now c is a type of character, it will be store the only character values. And what is the size of integer? What is the size of float? What is the size of character? Right? I will see one by one. Now clear? These are the main different types of data types. Now I will explain what is meant by integer, what is meant by character, what is meant by float, what is meant by double. Right? In later classes, I will explain about that enum, type def, pointers, structures, arrays, and then unions. Now I will explain what are the different primary data types and what is the size of those data types. Right? What are the main primary data types? The main primary data types are int, right, and character, float, and double. This is the main primary data types. Now it is the data type. Suppose for example, if it is the data type, and what is the size of the particular data type, and one more thing I can represent range. Range means what is the minimum value the particular variable will be stored, what is the maximum value the particular variable will be stored. Suppose what is the size of the integer means the size of integer is 2 bytes. 2 bytes are 16 bits. That means 1 byte equal to 8 bits. 1 byte equal to 8 bits. That means 2 bytes means 16 bits. Now what is the range of integer? Range is nothing but if we can assign. Suppose if I can declare the variable a. Now what is the maximum value the particular variable can store? What is the minimum value particular variable store means minus the range of the particular integer is minus 32,768 to 32,767. That means what is the meaning here? The range will be indicating the minimum or least value is minus 32,768. The maximum value is 32,768. Suppose if I can declare the variable int a equal to 32,768 means the variable a cannot store this value, because what is the maximum range or maximum value for the integer means 32,767. Then how I can store greater than this size or this range means then we can go for long int. You can go for long int. What is meant by long int? Now the size of the long int is 4 bytes or 32 bits. Now it will be stored greater than this size. Are you clear? What is meant by range means what is the minimum value we can assign to the variable a, what is the maximum value we can assign to the variable a. Suppose if you want to assign greater than the particular size means then you can go for the long int. We can go for the long int. Now the size of this long int is 4 bytes or 32 bits. In this same way, what is the size of the character? The size of the character is 1 byte. Now what is the range? The minimum character is minus 128 to 127. Minus 128 to 127 characters. Now what is the size of the float? The size of the float is 4 bytes and the size of the double is 8 bytes. Okay, now the range is 3.2 minus something and the exponential value to some plus 32 3.2 into something value, that is exponential value. Now this is the different data types we have, and these are the sizes of the different data types, and this is the range of the particular data type. Minimum, what is meant by range means the minimum value we can assign to the particular variable, the maximum value we can assign to the particular variable. Are you clear? What is meant by data type? What is meant by variable? Variable is the name to store the value, and what type of value we can store and how much space you have to provide it is depending on the data type. Right? I think all of you clear. If you have any doubts or you need any clarifications, please put your comments on the comment section. Thank you.